KUAM TV 8, your broadcast home for the games of the 31st Olympiad. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
In your news tonight, insurance contributions have not been paid for months for GovGuam retirees. Ken Quintanilla explains why.
And Nestor Lacanto reports on North Korea ramping up rhetoric, including Guam in its latest threat.
And Isa Baza details what several DOE schools are doing in light of contaminated water wells. If you're watching us live on KUAM TV or streaming us anywhere in the world live on YouTube, hafa everybody and good evening. Well, your government has fallen short in funding, needing to pay millions of dollars in contributions for the medical, dental, and life insurance of thousands of public sector retirees.
As Ken Quintanilla reports, there hasn't been enough money for months now, and since the month of May, stopped making payments.
Department of Administration Director Christine Boleto says GovGuam has reached the appropriated level of funding needed to pay the government of Guam's share for medical, dental, and life insurance for retirees.
We need a 13.8. That's the estimate that we need to get us till the end of September. So that's what I've requested to both bodies, is that I need an appropriation or a transfer into the account for $13.8 million so that I can take care of the government's portion all the way up to September.
The appropriation that GovGuam uses to pay for its portion or contribution toward medical, dental, and life insurance for retirees has apparently been exhausted, and for several months now.
So the total appropriations for this fiscal year was $24.2 million. The estimated grand total of what it will cost the government of Guam is $38 million. So basically what has happened is, as of May, we ran out of appropriation.
Boleto says GovGuam, however, is paying for the insurance for active employees. And just as lawmakers currently discuss the FY 2017 budget in session, GovGuam is also concluding health insurance negotiations, so the exact amount needed for the next fiscal year is hard to determine at this time. Boleto adds DOA is unable to process further payments without additional authorization. She's since reached out to the governor's office and the Guam legislature for either a transfer or supplemental appropriation.
I have, brought this concern up, to both the BBMR and also have spoken to the vice speaker about it. And so I know that they're trying to work to identify funds on both sides, but something has to be taken from somewhere to give us the additional funding that we need.
Boleto adds insurance companies have also been notified of the situation.
Of course, everybody's concerned. Nobody wants to see any kind of coverage lapse.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's the whole budgeting process.
NetCare's plan administrator Jerry Chrysosimo says, as one of GovGuam's insurance carriers, he was sent a notice on the situation recently. He tells KUAM for health insurance for the retirees contributing level, DOA has been behind at least 2 pay periods. Like most carriers, he says, they will continue coverage and not suspend anything at this time. Government of Guam Retirement Fund Director Paula Blas adds they too were informed by DOA and was told carriers would continue to provide coverage to its estimated 3,600 retirees. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
Several island schools have been forced to take action as a result of 3 contaminated water wells that were shut down last week. Isabaza has more.
Guahan Academy Charter School Chief Executive Officer Vince Leon Guerrero said in light of concerns over contaminated water that affected the Tidin area, the school took action over the weekend.
Saturday and Sunday, starting Friday actually, we started flushing our lines because they shut down the well in Tidin, but we were concerned about the residual water that was still in the pipes. So we were flushing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and by the time we opened school on Monday, we were good to go.
GAX was one of a handful of schools affected by the contamination. Acting Superintendent Joe Sanchez confirmed that DOE also flushed pipes at schools in areas including Tidsin, Barragata, Mongmongto Tumaiti, and Agana Heights. Special Assistant to the Governor, Eric Palacios. Can you say why those other areas were also flushed?
The 3 wells that were shut down provided water to those schools. And so it was important that we made sure that flushing was performed to rid the systems of impossible residual contamination. I know that some of the public schools in those affected areas included like Tidsin High School, the charter school area, JQ San Miguel, Agana Heights Elementary.
However, Deputy Superintendent Erica Cruz said the list included Jose Rios Middle School, CL Taitano Elementary School, and Agana Heights Elementary. She confirmed all affected schools were flushed before school started, with results verified by Guam EPA. Meanwhile, Sanchez said the flushing was due to an abundance of caution and not due to any special indicators. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
In other headlines, another thinly veiled threat has been noted by North Korea against Guam, this time over the recent deployment of U.S. strategic bombers up at Andersen Air Force Base. Pyongyang does warn that U.S. military bases in the Pacific will face ruin if Washington goes reckless. Mr. Lecanto explains in our next story.
The Guam Office of Homeland Security and Civil Defense confirms it is monitoring open-source threats by the Pyongyang government, but says there are no definitive reports of an immediate threat to Guam or the Northern Marianas. International media report that the North Korean Foreign Ministry claims the bombers are part of a U.S. plan for a preemptive nuclear strike. But while Pyongyang may view the B-1 and B-2 deployments to Andersen as a provocative move, KUAM spoke with Lieutenant Colonel Keith Butler, Director of Operations for the 13th Bomb Squadron, and asked if the deployment was in response to North Korean provocations.
No, this is a routine deployment. If you look back in time, all the way back to 2004, this rotation of bombers that comes through the Pacific is normal. It's part of our country and part of what we do for deterrence, for national security. Again, reinforcing the notion of assurance and deterrence, both for the United States and for our allies, for any of the adversaries that may be out there.
The U.S. military has deployed an anti-missile defense system here called THAAD, or Terminal High Altitude Area Defense, which followed North Korean intermediate ballistic missile tests in recent years. Guam Homeland Security declined comment on what its action plan might be should there ever be an imminent threat, describing it as sensitive in nature. However, they say they will continue to monitor all situations and will provide information as deemed necessary. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
They were caught red-handed stealing pot, and the Heights led authorities straight to a marijuana grow operation. A Jotnya resident reported seeing a neighbor's house being burglarized and described the getaway car to police. The car was eventually pulled over in Chalampago. Although the suspects tried to make a run for it, Nathan Debevoise, Devin Potts, John Jr. Pangolin II, and Marcus Damion were detained by police. In the car, they had stolen marijuana plants as well as a registered 9mm pistol. The men admitted the Jotnya house belonged to a man named Tomas. When he didn't answer, they broke down the door and took the plants. Police returned to the Jotnya home and discovered a fully functioning marijuana grow operation. The tenant, Tomas Jerome Calvo Jr., was arrested when he returned home. All 5 men were booked and confined.
The Guam International Airport Authority may have completed its investigation into a shooting incident involving 2 of their own, but the case remains open with GPD. On Monday, 2 officers were cleared of any wrongdoing and allowed to return back to work, as back in June, the officers chased a suspect operating a motorcycle all the way to here in Harmon. And that's where one of the officers opened fire and shot the suspect, who then crashed the bike. The airport's findings showed the officers responded with appropriate use of force. GPD spokesperson Captain Kim Santos says the case remains under investigation, and for the time being, the cyclist who was shot at filed a claim against the airport. That complaint is also under review.
Still to come on Primetime, it's not a debate, but a forum. The latest B16 news coming up.
Stay connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
Have you gotten paid yet? That's the premium automatic insurance deduction plan from Calvo's Insurance. Paid simplifies your home and auto insurance. No down payment. No more long lines. And you can stretch your payments up to 12 months. Paid is convenient. It deducts from your payroll, your checking account, or your credit card. With Paid, you get up to 65% off your car insurance and enjoy lifestyle club discounts. Life can be easier when you get paid.
Call Calvo's Insurance today and save on your home and auto insurance.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Tourism, it's our #1 industry. As Guam's largest employer, tourism supports 20,000 jobs. In fact, 1 out of every 3 jobs is tourism related. Annually, tourism generates over $150 million in tax revenue. Without it, every household would pay an additional $3,100 per year. From real estate to retail, tourism has a positive impact on every industry. Make Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. Support tourism.
Been waiting for the best deals in a new car? Now is the time to buy during Triple J Auto Group's awesome August clearance event. Get unbelievable savings and thousands off retail costs on our full 2016 inventory of Hondas, Mazdas, Acuras, Fords, Kias, Lincolns, and Volvos. Like the 2016 Kia Soul or Kia Forte as low as $15,495, or the Mazda 3 as low as $16,495. Before you look at anything else, see Triple J's PD Imprint app for full inventory listing. Get pre-approved instantly at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Hafidane, welcome back. We are a week away from the 2016 primary election, and as tradition, the Guam Election Commission will be conducting a test election next week, Friday. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says a consultant from Election Systems and Software will be on island next week to conduct site support on the GEC's 3 tabulators. The test election is set for the 26th at noon at the University of Guam Fieldhouse, which will serve as Election Central. In the meantime, the GEC is also compiling the final list of registered voters for the primary. Pangilinan estimates up to 800 new voters were added to the roster following district registration at the mayor's offices this week.
Now, the Republican Party held a ribbon cutting for its new headquarters in Mighty. A release from the GOP notes the party has a record of 52 candidates running for office, including 2 for Congress, 17 senatorial candidates, and 33 for mayor or vice mayor. The party unity pledge was also signed, as the Democrat Party, meanwhile, will also make a unity pledge of its own. National Committeeman Roy Respicio says the signing will take place next week during the party's Jefferson-Jackson Unity Dinner on the 25th at the Hyatt. Former U.S. Virgin Islands delegate Donna Christensen will give the keynote.
It won't be a debate, but a forum for congressional delegate candidates. UOG's Public Administration and Legal Studies students will be hosting the forum next week, Wednesday, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., just before the primary. Recently, Republican Margaret Metcalf called out Felix Camacho for a debate, but he declined, while Democrat Tony Balta called out Madeline Berdallo to debate, but she also declined. Next week's forum will be held at UOG. Approximately 12 questions will be asked, and each candidate will have 1 minute per question to answer.
Well, over the summer, Guam hosted for the first time the annual Summit of the Pacific Asia and Travel Association. Along with holding the event, PAT is also celebrating 65 years. Now, in commemoration, the Guam International Airport and the Guam Visitors Bureau unveiled a special plaque to be displayed at the airport's terminal. PATA Chairman Andrew Jones says this year's summit was especially significant as it brought the association back to the Pacific and, as he said, rejuvenated the spirit of island hospitality.
Looking back on our heritage and culture, Guam was one of our initial founding members, and we honor and recognize that, as we should honor and recognize the culture of our islands and our communities, but always looking to the future.
Guam last hosted the summit in May, contributing to the island's efforts to achieve 2 million visitors by 2020 and enhancing the image as a travel destination. GBV expects to reach 1.5 million visitors by the end of the year.
After being pioneered by George Washington High School several years ago, a program that assesses student reading levels and provides differentiated instruction tailor-made to their needs will be making its way into more classrooms this year. The optional Achieve 3000 program will be implemented at Chief Brody Elementary, among others. Teacher Mary Pervez said she hopes it will bring her students the appropriate reading level.
So by the time they come to 4th grade and 5th grade, they aren't struggling readers. So this program is going to help with a lot of the comprehension, a lot of learning new vocabulary, and it will be catered to the reader's needs and level.
Acting Superintendent Joe Sanchez said the program was optional for all schools and is funded through textbook funding and federal grants. He said challenges to the program's implementation include having a sufficient number of laptops and internet connectivity.
Now, the island's charter schools are seeing tremendous growth as they enter the new year. iLearn Academy Charter School Assistant Principal Rachel Alcaro said their school has enrolled 450 kids with a waiting list of 37. As for the Guam Academy Charter School, that enrollment has grown to just short of 690. CEO Vince Leon Guerrero said the school is working to accommodate the growing numbers, leading to some delays in week 1.
Our 4 temporary classrooms are delayed, and as a result of that, we pushed back the start of the school year for our kindergartners. It'll be starting on Wednesday, is what our target date is, which means that our high school students are also over at trades for an additional month or 2, depending on, when we can get everything completed.
Both schools are working to build permanent campuses over the next 2 years in an effort to accommodate enrollment and settle into a permanent home.
Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Hey, smart spenders. Looking for more ways to save? Buy food, get fuel. Shell's partnered with Cost You Less and Island Fresh stores to help you save. Spend $30 at any Cost You Less or Island Fresh and receive coupons for $5 off of your next $30 fuel purchase at any Shell station. Receive exclusive Cost You Less and Island Fresh offers when you fuel at Shell. Fuel up at your nearest Shell station today and start stacking on savings. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
This is what we do on Guam's best network. We're the filter killers, the likers and sharers, the bingers and Netflix chillers, the tweeters and hashtaggers. GTA has improved their 4G LTE network, covering 95% of the island, delivering faster data speeds, strength and quality, and more reliability than ever. It's just what you need. So switch to GTA and step up to a better network, a strong network that lets you do what you do. GTA, better LTE than ever.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now, birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double! Kid can be a kid.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995 or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995 or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck. See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with the flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
This is what precision feels like. Magnetic Ride Control actively monitors road conditions 1,000 times per second to deliver a comfortable ride.
1,000 times, huh? Yep, per second.
This is the new 2016 Sierra Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $7,400 cash back on the Sierra SLT Crew. Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
Hafa Day Guam, Chris Barnett with sports on this Foot Good Friday. Woohoo! Fiesta Friday.
Coming up, the Interscholastic Football League delayed. More on that in just a bit. But first, our Dial Rent to Own Athlete of the Week. Hey, here at Dial Rent to Own in Manila, we're $10 takes it home. So you come and check out their amazing selection for our Athlete of the Week presentation or Athlete of the Week. This week, Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, Mr. Kevin Cruz. Congratulations, Kev.
Thank you.
Congratulations, anyhow, on behalf of Dial Renton on the Athlete of the Week. And again, who would you like to donate this check to, my friend?
Special Olympics Guam.
There you go. So, Kevin Cruz, great performance and kind of an upset in the first submit tournament when he submitted, Purebred's Mike Sanchez by way of bow and arrow choke. Now, that kind of puts you on the jiu-jitsu map. I know you've done some tournaments, but how big was that for you? And was there ever any doubt in your mind going into that match that you were going to come out with a dub?
For jiu-jitsu, there's never really a doubt when you put in the preparation and the time. And I was a big underdog, and he had beat me by points in the Abu Dhabi Pro earlier that year. So I felt like it was a comeback statement, and I just put in the work, trained hard, and got it done. So.
Well, there you go. Now we're heading into Submit 2, and you're going to be back on the mat September 2nd, Dusatani, taking on Trev Jones. Now, Trev mixes it up in the MMA scene. No doubt he's a big contender at 135, but a lot of people don't know his jits is pretty sick. What do you know about your opponent's jiu-jitsu game?
I know that Trev is a hard worker. He trains really hard. He's going to come and bring the heat, so I just got to fight early on, weather the storm, and, hopefully come out with a W.
All right, so what kind of preparations are you doing for this match over there at Carlson Gracie?
Well, I've been mixing it up. Of course, a lot of time on the mat, doing multiple rounds, 10-minute rounds, 20-minute fights, working out at Paradise Fitness, doing circuits, keeping the endurance and cardio up. Also doing some special stuff with Dr. Steve at Active Life. He has this really special bike that we've been testing out, and the results are looking pretty good. So I should be ready for this fight, and it's going to be a good show.
What kind of match do you think it's going to be? I mean, of course, you're very technical. You got, a little bag of tricks and, Trev style on the mat. I don't know much about it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be kind of a contrast with you two going head to head.
Yes. Like I said, Trev's going to come out. He's going to come out strong. I'm more on the technical side. I really like to wait for the timing, wait for that moment to attack. And then eventually, if I see the space, I'm going to take advantage of that and hopefully finish the fight.
Well, there you go. Good luck. Submit September 2nd on behalf of Mr. Paul and our Athlete of the Week here, Kevin Cruz. We're at Dial Rento, and we're $10 takes it home.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
The Interscholastic Football League season will not kick off tonight, and it's not because of the rain. The Independent Interscholastic Athletic Association of Guam voting to postpone the start of the IFL season for 1 week. Now, when asked if there was a shortage of interested players, or if players were having trouble meeting academic requirements necessary to participate in football, IIAG Director Marty Boudreau said both factors played a part in the delay of the much-anticipated football season start. Now, in a release, Boudreau saying the extra week will give some schools time to procure student athletes needed to field a full football team, and other schools a little more time to procure football equipment. Now, rather than forfeit games, which were supposed to start tonight, Boudreau says the IIAG agreed to delay the start of the football season. Now for a rundown, week 3 in the Guam National Youth Football Federation. Tomorrow, catch the Giants taking on the Eagles at Eagles Field and the 49ers facing the Steelers at Southern High. Sunday, make your way out to see the Saints play the Raiders at Eagles Field with the Packers and Angels meeting up at Angels Field in Dedito. This pigskin action definitely going to be muddy. First game of the day kicks off at 9 in the morning each day, with the last game of the day kick off at 2:30 p.m. So good luck to all the footballers. Coming from us here at the KUAM Sports Team. All right, yeah, and hey, players, let's get those grades up. Like my grandma used to say, concentrate on your studies. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Try and stay dry. My name's Chris Barnett on behalf of our sports director, Dave Delgado. Thanks for watching. Adios!
The Nissan Summer Fun Event is on. Get into a new Nissan Sentra starting at $98 for pay period with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3 years protection plan and free paint sealant. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan sedans, including Versa, Maxima, and Altima. Take advantage of super low easy financing and save even more. It's the hottest summer event ever at Nissan Upper 2 months. Sentra starting at $98 per pay period. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just, feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itano program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Tidus Maasi Matson.
All right, everybody, a high surf advisory is in effect until 6 p.m. Saturday, so you want to beware of what is going on with the ocean. Rip currents will be life-threatening, so please be careful if you go to the beach. Mostly cloudy, the low of 77. Winds will be gusting as high as 24 miles per hour. That's your island weather.
Let's get to your birthday shout-outs, and happy birthday going out to Tristan Napu, celebrating his 10th birthday. Also, happy birthday to Shireen Joy Manjola. Happy birthday to Joey Ross Tekenko. Happy birthday going out to Kayleen Joe Mesa. Happy birthday to Megan Frazier. Happy 60th birthday to my guy friend Floyd, and may you have many more years to come, coming from Deborah. And may you enjoy your special. Can't wait to spend it with you. Wow. That's actually how it's written. Also, happy birthday going out to Sean Michelson Nicholas. Love the family.
All right, everybody, this is our favorite part of the week because we get to give away a absolutely delicious ice cream cake. This week's winner, whose birthday was on Tuesday the 16th, is Jacob Rosario. Congratulations, Jacob, and happy extended birthday.
And that is going to do it for us on Primetime. Stay tuned. Fiesta Fridays next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Happy everybody. This is KUAM's month-long celebration of KUAM TV's 60th anniversary, our diamond anniversary. I'm Jason Salas, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We have a wonderful topic to kick off tonight's episode of Fiesta Friday: literacy and a locally produced book for children. This is Guaidzadzin na Chongkun Manzanita, or the Lovable Manzanita Tree. This is a new book for kids right here. I'm holding one of the very first copies, and we have the very lovely Dolores Camacho, who actually put this book together. So Dolores, half a day.
Half a day.
All right, very nice to meet you. So I'll let you hold your book, as it was a labor of love, I'm quite sure.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, tell me about the process, and how did you get the idea to write this book and put it together?
Well, this was back in 2009. I was reading a book written by Phil Silverstein, and that book was about a little boy who felt really close with a tree, and both he and the tree grew old, along the way. And the ending was that the tree died. So I kind of took that idea, but I used my childhood and my relationship with the manzanita tree.
And the tree, of course, is symbolic of life and of our Chamorro values.
Yes. The love and respect among siblings,
and of course
the love of nature.
Obviously, because the tree is very symbolic for a lot of things about growth, about strength,
yes,
about being connected with nature, and about beauty and things like that. So it's also beautifully. If you could just maybe just open it, we'll get like a nice shot here for our camera guy. If you wouldn't mind just holding, and like the illustrations are absolutely beautiful. Tell me about how the artwork came together and like what input you had with that.
Well, we went through it page by page, and I had to explain certain things because Andrea's not really familiar with Chamorro words. So I had to explain to her what the different words were. For example, bateja, which means a washing board. I had to tell her what that is.
And this is Andrea Grajik, your illustrator?
Yes, and I have to say she has a really vivid imagination, to be able to come up with her illustration.
Yeah, and the book is all in Chamorro, so it's a good language primer.
There's also an English translation.
Excellent. Okay, very good. Yeah, and again, like the artwork is really, really nice. It's got a very, very distinct style, and because this is a children's book, you can imagine an older brother or a grandparent reading this to like a young child over and over and over and really passing down those
And
stories.
I have to add that she really caught the attitude of the three girls.
Okay, can you
that
explain?
I wanted.
Okay, can you explain, Dolores, what's going on right here now? There's obviously
right here.
And she's washing, and there seems to be some
our
song going.
mother. This is actually supposed to be our mother, my mother, and she was washing outside right near the manzanita tree, and the three sisters were singing, in the tree, and of course she was enjoying the whole thing while she was washing.
Oh, very nice. So you said there were about 500 copies printed in the first run, and this came out from Taguini Press, right?
If I'm not mistaken, maybe 500.
Okay. How does it feel now to be a published author? Did it take a lot out of you, or do you feel like a sense of accomplishment having,
a sense of accomplishment? Because I just mentioned I wrote this back in 2009, and I put it away, not thinking that I was ever going to get back to it. And one day I read in the paper that the workshop was being conducted. Little did I know that it was the end of the workshop. So I called up Senora Rosa Palomo and told her I was interested. And she said, I'm sorry, you're kind of late. But I turned around and I said, but I have a story already. And so she said, well, okay, then bring your story and we'll look at it. And so I went to the workshop, and I knew I was really late because the others were doing their artwork already. They had artists doing their story. But with the help of Lola Leon Guerrero, I was able to get Andrea.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
What have you learned from the process of putting the book together and, like combining your words with the images and maybe doing something for the next generation of Guamanians that you can pass down, your experience and your character and your love to them? How does it make you feel? Now that you've actually got a book that you can give to somebody and saying, I would like to share this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
I'm not quite sure what
it's still kind of sinking. Like, yeah, how do you feel now that you have this book finished?
Well, I'm actually very satisfied. I can say that it was on my bucket list. At my age now, I kind of follow along with things that I really want to accomplish. So it's a satisfaction on my part.
Well, and now you get the best part of being a published author is you actually get to share your art with everybody. So you're actually going to have a reading of this book. Tell me about that.
Yes, tomorrow at the university library, I will be reading it with Lance Osborne. He's also reading his book from 10 o'clock to 12.
All right. So if people want to come, it's absolutely free of charge?
Oh, yes.
All right. So we can't wait to see it.
There also will be activities to do for the whole family.
Okay. And if people come and they pick up a copy of your book, will you autograph it for them?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And I'm going to get one too. So I'd like your autograph if you would, please.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Congratulations once again.
All right.
All right, everybody. That is Guidzanin na Tronkun Manzanita, the lovable Manzanita tree. Please go get it. Dolores Camacho, thank you very much. All right, stay tuned. We are back with much more after this.
This program is brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
This is what we do on Guam's best network. We're the filter killers, the likers and sharers, the bingers and Netflix chillers, the tweeters and hashtaggers. GTA has improved their 4G LTE network, covering 95% of the island, delivering faster data speeds, strength in quality, and more reliability than ever. It's just what you need. So switch to GTA and step up to a better network, a strong network that lets you do what you do. GTA, better LTE than ever.
To prove how authentic my new Brewhouse Bacon Burger is, I'm going undercover at an actual brewhouse.
That's awesome. Amazing.
What if I told you you're eating a Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger from Jack in the Box?
Not this one. I'll tell you lying.
And what if I told you that I'm Jack?
No!
Didn't see that coming, did you? Order ale cheese sauce, grilled onions, and bacon on an artisan potato bun. Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger. New from Jack in the Box.
Hey, where'd Jack go? He was just here.
Watch the waves crash over bare feet as you stand back and feel the sun's heat radiating upon your face today. Summer's alive. That's why we feel this way. That's why we feel this way.
It's been an exciting summer with the Miller Lite Guam Summer Beach Fest, and it's not over yet. Join GVB on the beach this weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night at Ipao Beach from 5 to 9 p.m. Don't miss the exciting closing weekend events. Friday with Char from Japan, Saturday's last dance party and fireworks, and on Sunday, hang out with the dolls. All free, all on the beach. Along with good music comes great food, and the Tumon Night Market has you covered. See you on the beach for the Miller Lite Guam Summer Beach Fest. Go to visitguam.com for details. Miller Lite reminds you, don't drink and drive. This is a GVB signature event.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The people who tattooed my body, I can help you bring them down. Let's make them pay.
Wow, so punk.
Archie Punjabi joins Blind Spot, September 14th on NBC.
This Olympics, Superstore knows just who to root for.
America's #1, because it's the best at being #1 of countries and planets.
That's an airtight argument, though.
The Superstore Olympic episode, August 19th on NBC.
This looks like the real deal.
Don't think we need these walkies. I'm right here.
Roger that.
They're here. Do you come in peace?
No. We've come to destroy you!
This changes everything. We're in trouble.
Shut.
Miley and Alicia invade The Voice. Special preview after the closing ceremony on NBC.
Hey! Forgetting someone?
House to Home, brought to you by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, everybody, we are going to give you a lesson in first-time home buying with me playing the role of a first-time home buyer. Not that much of a stretch from the real thing. So fortunately, Liz and Gina are here to set me straight now. Okay, now I am playing the role of myself. So.
We've actually been trying to sell you a home, Jason.
You have. No.
We have, and why
That is
rent?
not fiction.
No, and why rent when you could own your own property?
That's true, and you have educated me for going on 5 years now about the value of equity and, you know, owning your own home. So I have made the decision. I want to actually own my own home. I've seen your pictures all over the place. I realize there are a certain number of costs and there's a certain amount of time that I have to invest in this to make not just a decision, but the right decision. So where do I go from here? I put money aside for closing costs or whatever like that. I'm going to start shopping around. So where do I go? Because I'm completely confused.
Okay, so the first question I'd ask you is, well, did you go to the bank and did you get pre-qualified? Because when you go to the bank, you have to provide 2 of your last pay stubs, your employment verification, and your last 2 years tax return. So those are documents that the bank will need. And they have a requirement also in terms of how quick they respond to you in terms of giving your pre-qualification information.
The tax return thing I did not know about.
Oh, you do need your tax
Because
return.
if you apply for like a personal loan, a vacation loan, a car loan, it's just basically your last 2 pay stubs.
Well, it's a form for them to verify your income. And for the last 2 years, they want to determine whether you had stable income and the consistency of that. Plus, of course, they'll take that and they will do a credit check. They want to see how have you paid your bills over the past few years? Have you had any delinquent payments? Are you up to date? So those are things that they would ask as well.
And I must say, how long back do they, because my credit score is very, very good, you know, by the grace of God right now, but I may or I may not have bounced a couple checks when I was in college, when I was young and stupid.
Okay, but that's not so many years ago.
Yeah, what's in the past is in the past.
Yes, yes. I mean, if you had foreclosure or bankruptcy, of course, they say that lasts for a window of 7 years. But the problem with that is if you haven't paid the loan off or dealt with it with the loan institution, it still follows you. It shows that there were some bills that you did not handle. So, of course, they'll ask you questions. Now, if you were off island and you didn't pay a credit card, some of the banks will ask you questions like, well, we show one delinquency. What was the reason for that? So if you have good reasons for it, they might give you an allowance and say, okay, well, not a problem. We can move forward.
Okay, so Gina, my dear, so if I was going to the bank and I already say I got pre-qualified for $400,000, you know, I've been employed here at KUAM for 17 years now. I've got good stable income. I've got money in the bank. Where do I go from here? Now I've got options.
So now it looks like you've already pre-qualified. You have a budget in mind. If you called me, I'd ask, the next thing I'd ask you is, now first, good job, because that's a lot of work to go through all that, right, to get that done. So the next thing I'd ask you is, okay, if you've already been to the bank, then you must have some idea of what they're going to charge you to give you the loan, because there is no such thing as a free lunch, right?
Oh, man.
And there is no such thing as 100% financing. There is for the purchase of the house, and I think some people get it mixed up. There are loan programs that will give you 100% to cover the price of the home or condo, well, actually of the home that you're getting, but not the closing cost. So the closing cost is what you're paying to the lender or to the loan program so that you could actually borrow that mortgage.
And that's out of pocket typically.
That's right.
And
It's
again,
out of
this is
pocket.
completely not like a car loan or the student loan I got when I went to grad school or anything like that.
Yeah, and,
This is a
and
step
remember
above.
those crazy things
This
we
is a lot
did
more
when,
money.
when we were in high school or college? Well, those things do show up. And what Liz was trying to explain is, yes, they're supposed to look back 7 years, but they look back forever as far as I'm concerned. And if you can't demonstrate that it was out of your control that caused that event, you're going to have a lot of letter writing and a lot of cleaning up to do before you could move towards that mortgage. So that's why it's critical, as Liz explained, that you go to the bank first. Call us so we could take you around, and that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to take you around. We know what your budget is, but now I want to know, okay, Jace, when you talk to the bank, did they show you how much your closing cost is going to be? And you say you've put money aside to cover that, but do you know exactly what that amount is?
Okay, now I've got a question, because if I should get all pre-qualified, I found the house of my dreams, I know where I want to stay, I've got the money, I put the closing cost out of pocket, I put that down, but what should I be thinking about in terms of the number of decades for the mortgage? Because I'm 42 right now, and if this is my first time owning a home, obviously 30 years, I'd be 72 years old.
Well, they could, it's up to you in terms of, it makes a difference in terms of your monthly payment. And they do offer 15-year loan periods, 20 years, 30 years. There's even a 40-year loan period. So it's totally up to you. And then they'll show you the chart of what that means in terms of your monthly payments. Your interest rate, it may make a difference with your interest rate as well. So it's your choice. You can choose which in terms of how much you want to pay per month.
I must say, you guys have made the whole process, which I know can be very, very daunting and very emotionally taxing, you've made it that much less stressful for me just sitting here talking about it.
Well, you know,
because I'm the kind of person that freaks out. I'm very high anxiety.
You know, I always stress to people, this is when you want to go slow. This is the part that you want to slow down. So you understand what you're doing, what you're getting into, and you learn the process a little bit better. And then once we start looking at homes, that's when I say, hey, hurry up. Because then you gotta, when you find something you love, move on it quick.
Move on it because
you're not the only person falling in love.
So let's go slow and let's be smart about securing the money and making sure we get it. Then as soon as we find
it's like dating.
Speed it up.
Go slow.
Well, if you think I'm bad at buying a home, let's not have a discussion about dating, because that's a completely
We're not
different.
going to get into that.
Yeah, that's a completely different level of failure right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, I would rather go bankrupt than have my heart broken again, but that's a completely different discussion. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, and we will take another stroll down Amnesia Lane when we return. Hopefully, maybe not, when we come back. Thank you.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Hi, I'm interested in one of your new Samsung devices.
I've got just the one for you.
We opened our online store, upgraded our website, and increased our call center to better serve customers.
Yeah! What do you think?
Solid.
Sometimes you picture me, I'm walking too far ahead, and you say, go slow, I fall behind.
We all want what's best for our kids. Introducing McDonald's new Chicken McNuggets, made with 100% white meat chicken and no artificial colors, flavors, and now no artificial preservatives.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995 or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995 or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck. See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the fresh garden bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool. I'm not supposed to be here. Somebody royally forked up. Why can't I say fork?
If you're trying to curse, you can't hear.
That's bullshit.
The Good Place, Thursdays this fall on NBC.
May 6, 1937. This guy went back in time to rewrite history.
That's not supposed to happen, right?
This could alter the present in ways we can't possibly predict.
Timeless. Mondays this fall after The Voice on NBC.
For 25 years, the Guam Humanities Council has proudly served our island through innovative public humanities programs. Today, we celebrate our anniversary and move forward with our new identity as Humanities Guahan. Humanities Guahan is a nonprofit organization committed to its mission to foster community engagement and dialogue, inspire critical thinking, celebrate diversity, and enrich the quality of life of island residents through the power of the humanities. We look forward to doing more to cultivate, connect, and inspire. For more information, visit our website humanitiesguahan.org or follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
This message has been brought to you by the KUAM Care Force.
Oh, Sunday night. Oh, Sunday night.
A diamond is a very beautiful thing, and that is exactly what we here at KUAM are celebrating, our 60th anniversary of being on your television airwaves. Thanks so much for joining us again. I'm Jason Salas. Now, the lovely Joan Uggan-Charfers always hosts In the Mix, and tonight she is in the chair, in the hot seat. Hi, Joan.
Good segue.
Yeah, no pressure, by the way. So this is the 6 for 60 challenge, where each week, it's actually part of a two-part segment. We feature one member of our news team who asks questions about a particular decade that KUAM was on the air. And then later after the show, you can actually take part in our 6 for 60 Challenge Community Edition. But, Joan, let's go ahead and take a look at our leaderboard to see the KUAM news members who already participated. Of course, week 1, the gentleman himself, Nestor Lecanto, finished 5 of 6. So he did very, very well. And then news director, Sabrina Salas-Matanani, in week 2, got that same score, 5 for 6. So again, no pressure.
No pressure whatsoever.
However, anybody who has ever met Joan knows she is an absolute savant of 90s trivia, and that is the decade we're handling.
I think I would have done better in 80s, but okay, let's give it a shot on the 90s.
Okay, for purposes of full disclosure, we did have a lengthy debate about this, whether she could do 80s or 90s, but you're doing the 90s. So you ready to go?
Let's go for it.
All right, we got this, Guam, as we so often say. All right, question number 1. Which current KUAM news team member anchored the morning show Buenas in the early 90s? Once again, Joan, which current member of the KUAM news team anchored the morning show? It was called Buenas, and it was in the early 1990s.
I'm going to say Nestor.
Ding, ding, ding. Very, very good. Yes, he is our contributing reporter, and of course, the managing editor of the very wonderful Guamanian magazine publication. Nestor, in the late 80s and early 90s, was also news director here at KUAM, and he produced and hosted the popular morning show Buenas with the very lovely Ginger Cruz, formerly Ginger Crundon. Yeah, that was a really good show. I watched it a lot in high school. All right, here we go. Number 2, question number 2, Joan. Which major aviation tragedy happened on Guam on August 6th of 1997? A major aviation tragedy happened on our shores on August 6th of 1997. What was that?
It was a Korean Air flight. I don't know the flight number.
Okay, very
Korean
good.
Air.
2 for 2, because that was KAL Flight 801. And that happened, it was a flight originating from Seoul, carrying 254 passengers aboard a Boeing 747. It slammed into a remote area of Nimitz Hill. That was a event that shocked, dismayed our island community. So many people rushed to help, but it was absolutely horrific. Many people remember that. It was a very, very dark day.
Senior year. So yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, I was a year out of college, actually. That's right. Okay. On a more positive note, question number 3, 2 for 2 so far. You're doing very well. What news magazine hosted by Grace Lee, a former KUAM news reporter, premiered on KUAM in the year also 1997? So you got 3 choices.
Okay.
What news magazine that Grace Lee hosted premiered right here on our airwaves in 1997? Was it Dateline Guam? Was it Island Focus? Or was it Around the Island?
I'm gonna go with B, Island Focus.
Island Focus. You are 100% so far. Very, very good. Of course, Island Focus. Everybody watched it. Everybody loved it. These were the days when you couldn't really stream stuff. So everybody tuned into KUAM to watch what Grace and our very own Carlito Rozansky were covering. It was beloved by viewers for a variety of topics, from hard-hitting stories such as notorious unsolved crimes to undercover investigations on credit card fraud and prostitution, to even lighthearted episodes like the Miss Pacificana pageant and local delicacies. Now, what's interesting is the other choices you had there for the multiple choice, they were also alternative titles. Those were being considered, but they went with Island Focus.
Probably like thought up by Brie because she's great at the titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, question number 4. Okay. Which NBC sitcom, and you are a TV junkie, which NBC sitcom set in New York City, the Big Apple, premiered in the fall of 1994 and is largely credited as the driving force behind the network's must-see TV Thursday night lineup? Was it Friends, Seinfeld, or Will and Grace?
I'm gonna go with Friends, A.
Very, very good. And you should get bonus points because I didn't even need to read the question twice right off the bat. Okay. Friends, absolutely correct. Monica, Chandler, Rachel, Joey, Ross, and Phoebe. Jennifer Aniston never returned my phone calls. I'm still hurting because of that. And that premiered in 1994, and it, of course, stayed on the air until its final episode in 2004. Remains one of the world's top syndicated programs today. You watch Friends a lot.
I've been binging on Netflix, so.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay, how many seasons have you watched? Beginning to end?
I can watch it over and over. It never gets old.
I think when Rachel and Ross finally kissed and everything like that, you heard everybody all over the world. Or maybe that was just me. Okay. Question number 5. Okay. If you don't know this, I will be immensely shocked. Which United States president visited Guam in 1998?
Bill Clinton.
Actually, the answer is Woodrow Wilson. No, of course it is Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton visited Guam in November of 1998, spoke at a crowd of thousands of Guamanians, probably tens of thousands, at the governor's complex down in Adelup, and we covered his address live right here on KUAM TV. I remember that because President Clinton walked out, he addressed the crowd, looked at all these wonderful people and said, "My fellow Americans." Remember, those were his very first words. The place went nuts.
Was that your impression of Bill Clinton?
Well, very badly so. So thank you, for my Arkansas accent. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, now, if you get this next one right, you will be the leader on the KUAM leaderboard. It's a very, very coveted position. So question number 6, and your final question, Joan. For several decades, NBC held the broadcast rights for the Summer and Winter Olympic Games, as they do this year in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. What United States city held the Summer Olympics in 1996? Was it Atlanta? Was it Los Angeles? Or was it New Orleans? Atlanta, LA, or the Big Easy, New Orleans?
I'm going to go with A, Atlanta.
And Atlanta is correct.
Woo.
That was Dream Team number 2. There was also a bomb that went off in Atlanta. That was when we saw Carrie Strug. She had that absolutely amazing vault. Okay. She practically broke her ankle, and she went out there, nailed the vault on the next try. Bella Caroli carried her off. I watched that today. I'm still in tears. It was absolutely an amazing moment.
Wow. You admitted that.
No, hey, I'm a huge gymnastics fan. Yeah, that was a magnificent 7, and you got magnificent 6. You are in the lead, my dear.
Awesome.
Very good job. Okay, so everybody, Joan has a tough score to beat. Well, we want to invite you to play our 6 for 60 challenge. That is coming up at 7 p.m. tonight, live on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/KUAM News, and we'll ask you guys a whole different set of questions. You can win a really cool prize, courtesy of us here at KUAM, in commemoration of our 60th anniversary of being on the air. Joan, well done.
Oh, great way to leave the weekend.
All right, fantastic. We'll see you there at 7. Everybody stay tuned. We are back after this.
Closed captioning is brought